Hello, folks. Welcome back. I'm back in Puerto Rico and happy that you're joining us for today's 3 at 3. As you guys know, every day, business day that is, at 3 p.m. Eastern, we bring you unusual option activity. And this has been found by either the activities posting on Twitter and Reddit, or more certainly, the unusual block accumulation of calls, bullish, or puts, bearish. And that's what we call unusual activity. Frequently, these lead towards a very big move in either direction, puts, bearish direction, calls, bullish direction. So let's get started for the 28th of February, shall we? This one, Pete is still just killing it. He talked about Upstart last Thursday. There you see the full post. The 24th at 9:59 a.m., Upstart, bullish call activity at the 115 call strike. Now, we had more bullish activity after that, but I'm just pointing out because they bought the 140s and today they're buying the 150s. I'm just pointing out that the stock is through 153, so it is $43 higher than where it was. And many of you were nice enough to reach out on Twitter and thank us for the trade and or say, what about this? What about that? Happy to share any of those with you. This is certainly one that's really done well. Another one that's done pretty well is Cliffs, because you might remember Pete on the halftime today talked about this one, said, hey, I know this is a Jim Lebenthal favorite, because it is. I talked about the 10,000 May 23 calls that were bought. Bang, 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 like this. Well, that was with the stock at 20. Today, the stock moves up, and those calls that were trading for $1.26, where are they trading today? Just one day later, traded up to 231. So from 126 to 231. Now you have to decide. Would you rather spend, for instance, if you bought 1,000 shares, that would have been $20,000 on Friday. If you bought $1,000 worth of these calls, just 1,000, you'd be doing pretty well. So anyway, I'm just kind of pointing out that Cliffs, this is an example of A, how the heat seeker worked, and B, that leverage that works in your favor and mine when we're trading unusual option activity, and you get much bigger bang for your buck. Now, I would never tell you that I have purchased $20,000 worth if I'm a 1,000 share trader. 1,000 share trader is 20,000 shares. I would think that a 10 lot would be sufficient. And a 10 lot would have been $1,200, $123, because every option's for 100 shares, would have turned to that, from that $1,200 investment, would have turned into $2,300. And then, if you're somebody that trades bigger, you trade a 50 lot, that's 5,000. You trade a 10,000 lot of stock at a time, that would be 100 lot of calls. Well, you get the idea how that would have worked out. Bang. That's what I love to see. I think you'll love to see this. Our crypto convo is blowing up. We had Pete and I both on with the Wolf of all streets today. Not the Wolf of Wall Street, the Wolf of all streets, Scott Meckler. And we were talking crypto, Ukraine, Russia with him. We also do that on our crypto channel, which is cryptoconvo.com. That's cryptoconvo.com. Totally unbiased opinion that you should go check it out. But you really would find that you get a lot out of it. So do at your leisure, go over to cryptoconvo.com, check out what we've posted and more from that Ukrainian, Russian, and crypto conversation posting up there shortly. All right, let's talk about this. EFA, what is that? EFA is basically large cap stocks absent the US and Canada. So it's not going to have our stocks in it. It's not going to have any of the like Shopify or any of the huge Canadian stocks in it either. The US and Canadian are excluded, but the rest of the world, why would people be bearish on the rest of the world? I bet you can guess Now, they're not saying that, boy, it's the end of the world, but they wanted either protection at the 71 strike with it trading 73, or they wanted to bet maybe that it goes lower. Whichever, 39,000 is a big trade. That's 3.9 million share equivalent. You and I would probably say, you know what, that's likely to be somebody pretty big that we want to follow, those pretty big people, when they make those kinds of bets. So I would say keep an eye on that. EFA. And then this one, by the way, Tesla, TSLA, that's the second of today's 3 at 3. Stock's $846. Early on today, they bought 29,000 again, since every option's for 100 shares of stock. That's 2.9 million share equivalent. 2.9 million shares of an $800 stock. You think I want to pay attention to that? You bet I do. And I did. I already own Tesla, but I rolled up and I'm now looking to sell upside calls against the additional calls that I bought. So that's 2.9 million share of Tesla. This week expiration at the 900 call strike. Basically call it $54 higher than where Tesla's trading right now. Now, as always, doesn't mean it has to get there for us to make money. If it makes a pop to 460, to 860, you're very likely to see some nice movement out of your calls. Doesn't have to get all the way up to 900, but you have to be aware that these calls expire on Friday. So you don't have a lot of time. So make sure that you don't sit there and hold this thing and then 2 weeks from now say, well, that didn't work out, John. It might not work out. Not every trade does. But you want to pay attention and be very nimble. Whenever Pete and I are talking about short-term trades, you want to be nimble. If that's just a suggestion, I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm telling you be nimble. In other words, react quickly to take profits or cut losses, either way. Third and final of today's 3 at 3 is AMD, stock that I've loved for a long time, taken over data centers, just crushing Intel and data centers. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, $121 stock. They buy 16,000 calls. And again, this week, March 4th expiration, 128 calls, $7 higher than where it's trading right now. So watch, decide if you want to trade it. And if you trade it, make sure that you're, again, nimble and that you take your profits quickly and cut your losses quickly if that's what happens. 16,000 is 1.6 million share equivalent. That's a lot when you're talking about, 10,000 calls would be a million shares of stock, a million times $121, $121 million trade. You want to pay attention to those. Trust me. I am John Najarian. Make sure you join us every business day. Make sure you check out Pete's The Take. That happens at 10:30 every day. Make sure you check out the Daily Crypto Bite at 10 a.m. That's 10 a.m. And I'm back here with you for 3 at 3. I'll also be on the halftime report tomorrow. I really look forward to having you join us. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.